this on. Just kidding. All right. So welcome back to another episode of the Coach's Corner podcast. This is where we put we cut past trends and dive into real science and transformation. Today we're talking about one of the most misunderstood but essential elements of long-term fat loss and metabolism. That is NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is not training. It's not cardio. This is what your body does between workouts, and it can make or break your fat loss journey. I'm Alex Parras. I'm your host today, and I'm joined with Jacqueline Compton. I'm also joined with Dominique Renzi and Diana Sykes, coaches on the Ignite Fitness coaching platform. But beyond that, way more expertise out in the field, helping people, troops on the ground, helping people out real day scenarios, right? So thank you guys very much for being here. We're going to change the way you think about movement, fat loss, metabolism, and even how you coach. So let's dig in. All right. Towards the end, guys, I will also ask you guys how everybody can get a hold of you. So thank you, Dominique. Thank you for being here, Diana and Jacqueline. We'll put out your guys, your guys' social media handles, however you want people to get a hold of you if they're seeking advice or training, right? So cool. All right. So let's start with our first topic. What is NEAT and why it matters? We're going to be defining NEAT and its role in its total daily energy expenditure, which is your TDEE. So let's go ahead and start off with Jacqueline. Can you give us some feedback?
Yeah, so NEAT is basically movement that people do outside of normal exercise routines, right? Like deliberate exercise, sleep, or like, the calories burnt to break down their own food. So what I love to tell clients to do to increase their NEAT is do things like pace on the phone when they're chatting with people. That could be around the house. It could be parking further away in a parking lot, or taking stairs instead of an elevator, standing while you're working. There's tons of ways to kind of incorporate NEAT into your life that will increase your total daily energy expenditure.
Yeah. And truth be told, I'm falling so short on this right now. Like I am so sedentary right now. Like I sit behind a desk all day. Yeah, I work out, do stuff, but like I can really I'm really going to take this in and stuff that we say today. I need to pick this up. Because it's massive, guys. Like NEAT can vary up to 2,000 calories a day, right? So like we always hear that thing, hey, take 10,000 steps was the big thing, and still is for a while. But reason being is the average person burns 500 calories after 10,000 steps, right? So that's just the average numbers. So it can really vary depending on how much you're moving throughout the day, up to 2,000 calories a day between individuals. This is according to research from Levine. This was done in 2005, so it's a little dated, but still valuable information. That's the difference between fat loss and plateau. So like right now, I've actually been complaining to Jacqueline, like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck, dude. I'm not, I'm maybe I can say, oh, I'm in a gain. Don't worry. I'm gaining muscle, like, but maybe a little bit. But the truth is, I'm just, my NEAT is just still right now because I'm not walking, I'm not moving, and I'm plateaued, right? So you want to regenerate that fat loss. A big part of that's going to be what we talk about today. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dominique?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is why two clients could follow the same macros and training and get completely different results, because one's sitting all day, the other's moving without even realizing it.
Yeah, for sure. When I worked out, you guys know about me a little bit, my past and doing the diving, right? Like the commercial diving, I would burn like 5,000 calories a day. I'd be in the water sometimes 6 to 8 hours, and just by moving all day, and then the resistance in the water, it was wild, dude. We'd just come and grub. You could eat whatever you wanted, right? But we didn't think we were exercising, right? Because you're literally just moving, doing your job. Yeah. And I think that's the difference when you get into this sedentary lifestyle of like working behind a desk, which like a lot of us do nowadays. It really plays its role. So what do you think, Diana? What do you think about that?
I totally agree. Like just even little changes you can make, like, walking to the grocery store versus driving to the grocery store, little chores that you can do that you can get a little bit more active with. Or if you do have to drive, if it's too far away, park somewhere a little further and just walk it to that grocery store. It really adds up over time.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like a lot of us tend to be obsessed, like myself included, like how hard I go in the gym. So like I'll base my fitness and my wellness, my that part of my wellness rather, off like if I had a really good workout that day or not. but I'm ignoring the 23 other hours, like, oh, it's all good, dude. I went and had a really hard, cardio hit session today, so I feel really good. But it's like, dude, your body is that lasts so long. We have episodes where we talk about like, the afterburn effect when you do certain types of training, but it lasts only so long, right? So if you're neglecting the other 23 hours, you're missing out, right? So so we understand what NEAT is. Let's keep moving on. Let's break down energy systems now. So where does NEAT fit into the metabolism hierarchy? So gosh, man, there's so many acronyms here. It's going to be fun. And a lot of other coaches are going to get stuff from this. If you're a client or, just a fitness enthusiast listening, these will be some stuff that you guys can look up. But let's simplify metabolism, right? So your TDEE is your total daily energy expenditure, and it's made up of 4 different things. That's going to be your BMR, right? Your basal metabolic rate, which is about 60 to 70%. So if we know how to increase our BMR, our basic metabolic rate, by putting on muscle, other things we talk about, as well, that's a huge impact. Your TEF is your thermic effect of food, which is only about 10%. So you eat something, your body starts to burn that, right? Digest it, and it's burning calories to do so. Then you have your EAT, your exercise activity, which is 5 to 10%. Is that wild? Right? So like everyone's like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, but like majority of the time, like it's only consisting of 5 to 10% of what you're actually burning. And then your NEAT is again about 15 to 30%. So it's even beyond the daily exercises, right? That's your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is what we're talking about today. So NEAT is the only one that can realistically scale up without extra effort. 15 to 30% is a big jump, right? So you're like doubling basically. So we're going to talk about how we can scale that up. Go for it, Jack.
So when we're in like a caloric restriction, right, a lot of times our body wants to conserve energy, and that could be by moving less, right? So when you do diet, sometimes people subconsciously decrease their NEAT to conserve energy, right? Because it's caloric deficits are super tough. So we may move less in those times without realizing it, which means just being deliberate about and intentional about continuing certain behaviors in that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think, Diana?
I mean, that's why people plateau after 4 to 6 weeks, even though they're doing everything right. They're not lazy. They're just less accidentally active.
Right. That's true. And especially like Jack was saying, just to reiterate you guys both your points would be like in those deficits that we fall into, like if we're in an extreme deficit, you feel really tired. Right. So like you go work out, you do something and you're like tired because you're just lacking the energy to do so. Part of that has to do like the old saying, rolling stone gathers no moss. Right. So like I think it's one of the laws, right? I should know it, maybe Newton, but an object in motion will stay in motion too. Right. So like I think continuing to like move outside of the gym in those other 23 hours kind of gives you more energy and allows you to kind of continue working forward towards that. Right. So but anyways, let's keep moving on. Go ahead.
I had something to add really quickly just about like clients, right? So who are working out, they're in a deficit and they are really ravenous, right? Because they're moving so much. So again, the NEAT may subconsciously like decrease.
Yeah.
But I also had a client recently who was in a deficit who also was dealing with an injury, right? And so the deficit wasn't really as challenging for her as I've seen in clients who are like working out consistently and increasing their NEAT because she wasn't moving as much as she was used to. Like the walks that she went on went away and she was like the deficit wasn't as hard. So just wanted to make that note too, like a real life situation.
I think to elaborate would be like, if you're going to put your clients on some sort of deficit, I think we have all those different calorie calculators we can use online and stuff, right? So it's like, hey, what is your activity level? And I think most people overestimate their activity level, to be honest, right? So I think NEAT is a huge part of that activity level. Is this person sedentary? Are they, active? And it says like, oh, how active are you? And that says you work out 4 to 5 times a week. We don't know what they're doing the other 23 hours. So I think it's important as coaches to kind of really dive in and be like, hey, so I understand you're like super active, you're in the gym, stuff, but what do you do outside the gym, right? That's going to help me really gauge on what kind of deficit or what kind of surplus we're going to put you on, right? So I think that's a huge factor that a lot of coaches don't think about. It's like, oh, this person's working out 2 to 3 times a week, I'm good. Well, what are they doing the other, 23 hours of the day? So that's something we definitely want to ask our clients. Anything you ladies want to, I'm really blessed today. I have like a lot of intelligent ladies that are surrounding me right now in this podcast. So I'm lucky. Anything you guys want to add to that before we move to the next little section here?
I just wanted to add a quick little personal story. I recently got a Fitbit a few months ago, and it was so eye-opening in terms of how sedentary I can be, especially when you're focused doing computer work, because there's this feature on Fitbit that basically reminds you every hour that you haven't moved, and it gives you a little, and it's like, and I'm like, wow, I've actually not even taken one step in a whole hour. It was very eye-opening. So it's just, there's certain tools that can help you get that extra little bit of activity.
For sure. That's a great point.
Definitely.
Yeah, little reminders.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And it's motivating too, like having some of those trackers sometimes too, to stay accountable and be like, oh, it's my time to like do this. Like it's good reminders for sure.
Yeah. I think one of my drawbacks is like being super obsessive compulsive. So like I will literally sit here in front of the desk for hours and like not eat and like not just hone in on like what I'm trying to accomplish. And that's taken me so far in so many areas of life, but then it's tough too, where I'm like, shit, dude, like I need that reminder. I need something to tell me, hey, you've been sitting here for 4 hours, dude, get up and walk around. It's just, they say like sedentary sitting like that's actually way worse for your health than like even smoking. So like like, don't take that to heart, guys, whoever's listening, right? So like smoking's not good, don't go smoke, but definitely go get up and move around, right? I think just sitting in all day every day is definitely not good. But anyways, let's keep going. Jacqueline, go ahead.
So we want to talk about NEAT in real life. How do we coach it? I love talking about NEAT to clients because cardio can be a little challenging, like myself included, right? Going on a run is not necessarily my favorite thing. I'd love to go on a long hike instead and get my cardio in that way. But, it can be a bit of a challenge for some people. So we don't necessarily need to really promote clients staying on a treadmill the whole time, finding cardio that's enjoyable, which is different than NEAT, right? But helping them to increase their movement throughout the day is also super beneficial. So I agree with you. I always chime in so much, but it's like it really depends on the person and like what we do during the day. Like, so like you got a construction worker, right, who's working all day doing, he's a carpenter or whatever, he's out there, framing, doing stuff like that. And he's one of your clients, right? And you're getting him in the gym, you're working on his diet. You don't necessarily have to prescribe him to go walk. Dude's walking all day. Dude's moving all day. So again, like we kind of talked about, like Diana, Dominique both touched on this, Jacqueline, like, okay, like I'm not going to tell that guy that he needs to go walk to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, but if a client's sedentary all day, that's where we can get those extra steps in. Hey, go walk to the grocery store rather than, so it really depends on the person and their lifestyle. I think that's something that we really need to hone in on. Go ahead, Dom. Like, what do we got here?
Yeah. So what I usually do is I give clients 3 NEAT anchors, and one of them is a 5-minute walk post meal. Park further away, just like Diana said earlier, and daily 20-minute walk while on a call.
Yeah. Those are simple things that we can all incorporate into our lives, myself included. I told you I was going to get something from this. Like, I want to get one of those desks one day where they come up, they raise up, and you got like Jack already got me a walking pad. No joke, one of those little mini walking pads. Like, she got me one so I could like go walk like during meetings and shit. I haven't used it yet. I tried using it one time while I was like watching like a hockey game, and I almost ate shit. Like, I literally almost like died. Like, I fucking like the thing like got all crazy on me, and I fell off. It was great. But I will use it again. I promise I will hop on there. But yeah, these are simple tasks. Those are great cues, Tom. Simple things that people can do during the day to just up that NEAT, right? For sure.
Can I add something to that too? In like Dom's recommendations, like, and this may be like a little woo-woo for some, but I think like getting outside and like getting vitamin D, being around nature, if you have that, or like doing it with somebody else, are all things that are additional benefits to NEAT, right? That like walking outside after your meal or what have you. Those are all other benefits more than just the fitness.
Heck yeah. Go have fun.
Calorie part of things.
Yeah, go have fun. Go out to the park. Go see orcas. Go
Yeah.
out on a boat. Right? Diana was just talking about that. She got to see some orcas, man. That's so cool.
Go to the batting cages. I did it the other
Yeah.
day, and you know why? I was out of breath.
Yeah.
And my
You
arms
know,
were sore the next day.
exactly. But no, seriously, that's what it is. Like a lot of times we get so used to our routines of like, okay, I go to work, I do this, I come home, I do this, right? And then like, you know, we plop in front of the TV or whatever. But what happened to that childhood fun of like playing out in the park and shit, going to batting cages, you know? Like don't let that go. Yeah, just keep moving, right?
50 football catches a day.
50 football catches a day with the little guy trying to get his hand. He's got stone hands. The kid's got concrete hands, but it's all right. We're working on it, you know, so that'll keep you going, you know, too. All right. So we got Diana. What do you think about habit stacking for NEAT? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I coach it. It's turning it into habits and finding ways that you can squeeze it in and just make it an automatic thing. Like, for instance, after your morning coffee, just get outside and walk around for a little bit. Doesn't have to be a long walk. Or after every meal, do a quick little lap around your kitchen or your office. Or for instance, during every Zoom call, stand up and stretch, you know, just little micro habits that you consistently do are going to add up.
I see Jacqueline's going to get on me about this one. I'm going to do it because Coach Diana said it. I'm going to do it, even though she's been telling me. She's like, you listen to everybody else but me. You know?
You better, Alex. I'm going
to do it. But really, guys, like, so steps, like that's so prevalent in our everybody's 10,000 steps, 10,000 steps, 10,000 steps. But today it's not about the goals and steps. We're not saying, hey, go take 10,000 steps. We're talking about it's a movement mindset. It's something that you ingrain. When everybody else is taking the escalator, you're the one taking the stairs. You know, it's little stuff like that, right? Like, hey, man, I'm going to park in the back of the parking lot, not only so my car doesn't get dinged. I hate it when that happens. But when I go to the grocery store, I'm parking all the way at the back because that's an extra movement for me to get to the store, right? So little stuff like that. It's a movement mindset. And training your clients to identify that stillness that they have throughout the day, and then we interrupt it. We did do some studies on that, right? So you have Dunstan 2012. You guys can check it out. We'll put it in the we put all of our scholarly reviews in our comment section at the bottom, so you guys can check those out. And then we have Gibbs of 2017, micro movements, standing, fidgeting, walk breaks. That's one of the funny things. Actually, check that out. I researched that one, the Gibbs, and like, you know, those people like we fidget with our legs. You know, you actually burn extra calories just by fidgeting.
I recently read that as well, and it surprised me. But yeah, that's why I'm always like tapping my toes, and I always thought that was kind of an annoying habit. Now I'm realizing, oh, okay, I was on top of it.
What they call like restless leg syndrome. They actually gave it a syndrome.
I wonder how many calories burning.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, you burn an extra 100 calories a day. Just by
500 per toe tap.
Right on. All right. So let's go on to the next topic here, NEAT versus cardio. Okay, so now we're going to establish the differences, right? So we know what cardio is. If not, you can definitely check one of our other episodes about cardio, right? If you guys are worried about, like, there's different levels of cardio, obviously, right? But let's talk about NEAT versus cardio and the difference, the psychology of movement. Okay, so the topic here is why NEAT is more sustainable and less stressful than like formal training. So I'm sure we're going to talk about, like, hey, rather than telling your client to go run 3 miles a day, let's focus on their just, you know, walking and other stuff like that. We've been talking about taking the extra steps, things like that, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator. So go ahead and lead us off with that, Jack.
Yeah. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, cardio can be tough for me personally, but it's scheduled. So it could be like, hey, I'm going for a run outside right now. I'm going to do a Peloton workout on the cycle, what have you, right? So, whereas, as Diana had spoken about how that habit stacking, right, we can make NEAT a habit that we don't even have to think about, right? We establish these habits over time. The brain loves that. We don't really have to think about it. It is more likely to stick if we can be consistent with it over time. So it doesn't require that like intentional mental activation or motivation to go out for that scheduled cardio.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Dom? What do you think?
Yeah, so cardio, it creates it creates hunger in many people.
Yeah.
Especially me. I always get super, super hungry after cardio.
Yeah.
But you do 45 minutes of HIIT and then sit the rest, and NEAT doesn't trigger that rebound effect.
Right, for sure. Yeah. It's way different, right? For sure. What do you think, Diana?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just to add to that, for burnt out clients, neat is really approachable. A 45-minute circuit feels overwhelming for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
standing up to fold laundry or pace while you're texting feels like nothing, and it's going to make a difference. Like for me personally, I never talk on the phone without pacing around. Just
Yeah.
little things like that. You know, why sit when you can just walk around and talk on the phone? So
Yeah. No, I agree so much with both what everyone has said, obviously, but like, yeah, like what Dom was saying about like 45 minutes of hit, right? Or what you're saying, like it feels overwhelming for some people, right? So, and I've very much been that person. Like, hey, I'm gonna go do an hour CrossFit class. You guys know I like all different types of fitness. I'm gonna go do an hour of CrossFit, then do nothing for the rest of the day, and that really wasn't giving me any benefits, right? So, yeah, this is where NEAT becomes your secret coaching weapon. It works with the body and around the client's life. All right, so what do we got next? Let's kind of keep moving.
Can I add something to
Oh, of
that?
course, yeah.
I think introducing NEAT to new clients who are making lifestyle changes is a wonderful way to not overwhelm them, right? So say if they're seeing you for like strength training specifically, instead of giving them like 5 goals at once, like, all right, we're going to like increase our hydration, we're going to do cardio, we're going to do all these things, like NEAT's more approachable, like it said, like it's not as much of a mental block.
Yes.
No overwhelm for some people who are new to
For
fitness or restarting a routine too.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great point. Yeah, start them off slow and then kind of build up to that cardio aspect, especially depending on where they're at, their age, their health, everything. Yeah, cool. Right on. So let's talk about how we do programming with NEAT. So if you're a client listening in, this is, keep this in mind. And then if you're a coach, hopefully you take some from this. Programming with NEAT in mind, right? So how to integrate NEAT into client plans, especially during plateaus or cut phases. Probably going to touch on what we just really talked about a bit, what Jacqueline just touched on. So NEAT becomes even more critical during cutting or plateau phases, like myself right now, kind of plateaued, right? The reason being is like phase 1 would be a baseline NEAT goal. So like you're talking about steps a day, right? So again, we kind of get back to the steps. That's the easiest way to gauge it, right? So 6 to 8K steps a day. Phase 2 would be post-lift walk for like 10 minutes, right? So that's something, oh my gosh, Dom, your bodybuilder. Diana, I'm not sure if you've done some bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
Jacqueline she doesn't like to admit it, but she's a bodybuilder. She's a great bodybuilder too, actually. But anyway, she always suggests I get on the fucking stair stepper, dude. I hate that thing. Stair stepper. 10, 20 minutes. Like, oh, go get on the stair stepper for 20 minutes after you lift. Cause I'm like, just not moving. I'm still lifting and stuff, but I'm not moving the way I should be. So that's definitely a phase 2. You don't want to scare your clients away and be like, hey, so go lift and then hop on the damn stair stepper for 10 minutes. They will never come back. But anyways, you got to introduce these things, right? Phase 3, increase standing time during work blocks. I mean, you could really do phase 2 and 3 at the same time because they're, again, 23 hours the rest of the day. What Diana was talking about with the Fitbits and the other, technology we have nowadays to remind us, hey, it's time to stand, it's time to move, it's time to walk a little bit. Phase 4 is like adding rucking. I love this, man. Add rucking or low load carry work for 20, 30 minutes a week. You guys know this about me. Some of you do, some of you don't. But for my buddy's 40th birthday, we did a 40-mile, 40-pound ruck walk, right? So that thing took us, we started at midnight and we got done at like 4 p.m., right? So it was a wild time. Really, really difficult. But the fun part, that was cool. That was a grind. It was grit. But the fun part was training for it. We'd go for like 3 miles here, 6 miles here, 10 miles. We did 20 miles. We mapped out what we were going to do, like one way. I was never so shredded. Like I was still big, still pretty solid, but I was just like pretty ripped at that point in my life, pretty low body fat just from walking and rucking, right? Taking that, even a 3-mile walk, which took us maybe an hour to do, right? Like, but with like 40 pounds on your back, like it adds up. And it really just, you talk about burning like specific level 2 cardio that targets fat and burns fat. That's really where it's at, So yeah, very interesting. What do you think, Jack?
So something I love to do for my clients is have them track habits. And one of the habits is definitely NEAT. So what I do in the app is I give them a list of NEAT activities that they can kind of choose from and give ideas from, and then they just check off. I have them track steps in particular, but it can be accumulated through all these other all these other ways and intentional walks, right, that we've talked about earlier.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll drop a plug in there too for us. Is like in the Ignite Fitness, the Phoenix Rising app, we have like so many great coaches that you guys can work with to help people, you know, who are listening. This is what we do is we help you guys with your habits and your goals. And so that, you know, it's not as daunting to first do this. But we have, you know, custom habits that we can assign to all of our clients right in there, and including like neat activities, right? So you can say, hey, and you can set alarms in their little app where at 9 a.m. It's time to go walk around the block, right? At noon, it's time to take a walk after your lunch, or it's time to move, right? So we can do that kind of stuff in the app, and it's pretty cool. And all of our coaches are great with that kind of stuff. If you're seeking out help, definitely reach out. You know, we're here for you. We have a couple great coaches in here today that will be more than willing to help you guys out. So definitely look them up. Cool. What do you got? I tend to babble a lot. So what do you got, Dom? Let the ladies speak a little bit.
Yeah, so neat doesn't have to be boring at all. It can be social, family walks, walk and talk. Sorry, I have a heavy accent over here, but walk and
Philly,
talk.
represent Philly.
Walk and talk coaching calls, outdoor meetings, you name it. So
yeah, it can be a whole slew of things. How about you, Diana?
Yeah, no, I mean, another thing that you can do is to get clients to track their mood and focus before and after NEAT. I'm super passionate about this because the mental shift that they feel sells the habit more than the calorie burn ever will. Yeah,
that's true. There's a certain high that you get, right? You know, that you get afterwards. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That's like I don't want to go too off topic, but like remember I used to say like the mind, body, and spirit, right? And they're like they're separate things. I think how we're like so like, and honestly, scientists are diving into this, you know, especially like spirit. That's something a little different, but there are people that try to do studies on it, right? But I think we're just coming to terms that this is just so one. It is not three different things. It's not two different things, mind and body. It's one, you know. And you treat your body right, your mind will follow, and vice versa. You know, so it's really powerful.
I mean, ultimately, we all want to feel better, right?
Yeah.
So you start noticing that you have a little lift in your mood or a little surge in your energy after you've done a little micro movement. It's hugely motivating to keep that going.
Yeah, we chase it. We chase that dopamine hit, you know, we chase that endorphins, right? So it's like people can get addicted to working out is because you get that little micro feeling of like, wait, I just went for like a walk for a mile. I actually feel pretty good. Maybe tomorrow I'll try that again. Maybe tomorrow I'll try that like 2 miles, right? And then we try to chase it because we keep chasing more and more. That's where we can't go too heavy too fast. But yeah, you're so correct, Diana. It's a beautiful feeling. What are you gonna say? Yeah.
Well, I'm like under a forced rest right now.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the opposite for me, being pregnant and somebody who is like super movement oriented and being told like, oh, you can't do these things. I feel the impact in the reverse, right? So a lot of times people might be stuck and not know like, hey, there's more benefits to moving and incorporating these small things into your life. You're just not aware of its impact yet, unless it's taken away from you.
Yeah, you don't know what you got till it's gone, right?
Yeah.
Semi-bed rest. Trooper over here. Yeah. If you guys don't know that you're listening, Jacqueline and I are having a little baby boy in August. So
congrats.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be wild.
And I'm hoping to be cleared for exercise in 4 weeks and taking it easy and gentle.
Coming. We're in the 3rd trimester, I believe, right?
Yeah.
We got semi-bed rest for now, but could be cleared here shortly. But it's been crazy. It's been crazy around here, man. You got a very active woman, very powerful, active, intelligent woman who's like kind of like told like she got to be bedridden.
No.
It's been wild, right?
I would not be able to do that.
Yeah, it's like and I'm the bad guy for sure. So, anyways, we'll keep going.
I feel for you, Jason. I feel for you. Just because I've said multiple times, it's my nightmare to become immobilized and not being able to like move around because that's what keeps me going in life. So I feel for you. But 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
That's good. Hopefully, thanks,
Diana. Good. Yeah. So here we got a little rapid fire. There's some common questions that we get. So I'll just ask the questions and I'll call on you guys, and you guys can, you know, our responses here. So let's hit a few rapid fire for NEAT questions. Is NEAT a replacement for cardio? Dom, what do you think?
I really think so.
I would say no.
I would say no.
Yeah, I'd say no. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It's like an amplifier, right? So like NEAT is your background. So like, again, we want to start people off thinking movement, And then like cardio comes along. That's like an intensity spike that we can add in to make things even better, right? So I think that's that. NEAT is your everyday movement. Cardio is something we can add in for sure. What's more important, steps or NEAT? Diana, on the spot.
Well, NEAT includes steps, but also fidgeting, standing, stretching. NEAT is the umbrella. Steps are just a tool.
Right, that's a part of it for sure. All right, so how do we track NEAT? How do we do that, Jack?
So like Diana had mentioned, steps can be a part of NEAT. So if you have a step counter, that is part of NEAT, but those can be incorporated in other things. Taking, pacing on the phone, which is like one of my favorite things to do, just walking around for 20 minutes in my house, annoying everyone. It could be standing, just being more active in those little bits of time, not necessarily all trackable, but steps are like a big one that capture that if you have some sort of tracker.
Like all the technology or a Whoop.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many that we could probably list off, like Apple and all that stuff, right? So cool. Do resistance training and NEAT conflict? I'm going to say no. In fact, NEAT can help recovery by enhancing circulation and reducing inflammation. We talk a lot about that, guys. I think there's rest days are pertinent. Like Joe's frequently on the podcast, and he and I talked about like full rest days and how hard that is for some of us to actually have full rest days. I think active rest days are just as impactful, right? So that active rest day being, hey, I'm not training, I'm not going as hard today, but I'm going to take I'm going to row or walk or like just do, activities, right? So NEAT can really help your recovery as well, circulating and reducing inflammation. So, all right, guys. I really appreciate everybody who chimed in to listen today. I really, really appreciate the ladies that participated and the coaches. A lot of wisdom was dropped today. Again, you guys probably listen to us on Spotify or the Apple Store, Apple Podcast Store. But you can also find us at Ignite_fitness training on Instagram. Okay, so definitely check us out. You guys can get in touch with us. If you want to get in touch with any of the coaches today, I'm going to let you know how to find them. So we'll start with Jacqueline. How can people find you online or obviously through Ignite?
The school community for sure is a great place, and all of our coaches are there. Otherwise, my Instagram's Jacqueline Compton Fitness. Just my name. I'm sure you'll tag it, right? I'll put it in something.
Yeah, I'll tag everybody. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. So I don't have to spell it all out.
Yeah, Jacqueline Compton Fitness on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
So cool. And then Dom, where can they find you at?
Yeah, same thing. The school community, you can find me there. My main platform is Instagram, and it's at DomRenzi_strength. That's where you could reach me at.
Cool. Dom, DOMRENZI.
Yes.
Underscore
strength. Yep.
Perfect. Cool. And Diana, how about you? Where we can find you? People are listening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook, but also Instagram. My handle is Diana Sykes. That's CIKES_fitness.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this today. NEAT is the metabolism multiplier most people are sleeping on. It's movement without stress, burn without burnout. And for coaches, it's one of the most powerful, sustainable, underutilized tools in the game. So thanks again, guys, for listening. Until next time. Live smart, move often, recover deeply, and always rise stronger, ignite brighter. Thank you.